Did you guys know that not that long ago, mobile games, especially gacha games, were looked at most Westerners with disdain and disgust? And this was due to the fact that, number one, they were almost always paid to win. Like, if you didn't put money in it, there was no chance you could actually enjoy the game. And number two, and this is the most important, the AAA industry was amazing. Like, you could spend at the time $45. I know it sounds crazy, but yeah, like 10 years ago, this is pretty much how much a AAA game would cost, 45, maybe $60, and you would have hours of content. Like, you could purchase Mass Effect and you would just have hours upon hours of fun. So there was like absolutely no reason to play a gacha game. But now gacha games are becoming popular simply because the two reasons I've mentioned earlier are now upside down. So there have been gacha games where you don't need to spend a single dollar. They realize that if people have fun while playing, they're more likely to advertise the game. And I personally am playing Nikkei, as you guys know, I talked about it. And you don't need to spend anything to actually not just finish the game, but collect most of the waifus from that game. And, this causes a huge turn because you can have fun by not spending money, or you can play, I don't know, Assassin's Creed and spend $120 for the deluxe edition. And then if you want more money, you can buy more DLC and loot boxes, right? So you notice that AAA gaming is becoming incredibly expensive. Like, it's a lot more expensive now to play a AAA game than it is to play something like Nikkei. And the second issue is the quality. At least Nikkei runs. There have been many games that came out the past year, AAA games like Suicide Squad, and you have video games like Forspoken and many others that simply refuse to run on day one. So the quality is down. If you look at what the developers from these AAA companies are talking about their customers on Twitter, they are incredibly disrespectful, incredibly arrogant. They are willing to block their own customers and spit on you. So unless you have a fetish of being a pay piggy, it's very difficult to support these companies. And this is why I believe that gacha games are making a huge comeback. And despite the fact that most people are ashamed to admit that they're playing it, the one that I was talking about, which is Nikkei, is that it's on the top of the charts. Like, it's top on the Apple charts. A lot of people buy it. I think like people are ashamed of it, that they're playing a gacha game. It's kind of like they're not ashamed to post their likes on pornography on Twitter, but they are ashamed to post their Nikkei shit. And I know this, like, whenever I post something about it, like, there's a lot of people interacting with it, like, just subscribers of mine that I knew for years that I would never imagine that they're playing a gacha game, but it seems that they do. And by the way, I'm not advertising the game, like, I'm not paid to advertise or anything. I guess I can call myself a fanboy, unironically. And I'm upset about it because I would love to be a fanboy of a AAA game, but, like, look at the list of games that came out this year and tell me what exactly should I play? Like, what should I focus my time on? Because I genuinely do not know. Like, I'm just as confused as the next guy. So, why am I bringing this up? Well, apparently there's another gacha game that's coming up, and it's Snowbreak. It's all already established. It's got anime waifus, and it freaked the left from the United States out. Like, the people with the pronouns in the bio were absolutely terrorized about this game. The voice actors is my favorite take, right? So, like, in 2024, where being a voice actor is a very risky profession because you can be replaced by AI, they decided to unionize, and they said that they are not going to partake in this game because of the fan service. Now, you need to understand how America views sexuality, right? Like, first of all, when it comes to hyper-gratuitous violence, like gore that would be censored in other countries, if it's fictional, it's allowed in the United States, and no one complains about it, right? Like, you can have The Walking Dead, where you have, like, a team of experts designing a zombie head with the brain so that it looks as realistic as possible when you gouge the eye out. Like, that is fine, okay? Sexuality that is themed predominantly towards LGBT people, or, it's homosexuality or female fan service or anything like that, that is perfectly promoted and accepted. Like, for instance, if you have Deku from My Hero Academia appear shirtless and he is really buffed and it's obvious that that is a type of fan service, no one complains. Like, that is accepted. But the moment you have a female character that's not even in a sexual position, or is just like showing some degree of sexuality, like some level of lewdness that you would see in movies like American Pie or Buffy Vampire Slayer, like stuff that we grew up with, if you have that, they freak out. They freak out really, really bad. Like, they are genuinely offended by the cleavage. And I do think this is the remnants of third wave feminism that believes that the male gaze leads to rape. So if you have like a female character that's drawn the same way that X-Men used to be drawn in those old animated cartoons with the skin tight suits and all that, they believe that, yeah, like that turns men into rapists. I genuinely think that this is the madness that they're espousing. And they try to gaslight men in the idea that if you just like healthy human sexuality, there is something inherently wrong with you. Like, you are broken. You need special help. You need to go outside and you touch grass because you're a Khmer. If you like to watch titties on TV. Now, if you're a woman or a homosexual man and you like to see Deku shirtless, or you like to see any type of female fan service, like in The Boys, they show big cocks on the screen, or House of the Dragon. Yeah, I saw a cock there as well in 2 episodes ago. The Acolyte, right? You get to see. No, that's just normal, healthy thing, right? And criticizing people for liking that also makes you deranged. And interestingly enough, like, if you're a guy, you are allowed to enjoy heteronormativity as long as it's with a real woman, like OnlyFans, right? So, like, if you go on websites like OnlyFans or websites like Twitch or anything like that where it has, like, softcore pornography, it's perfectly acceptable in the West, just as long as it's not fictional, right? So, like, if it's a real woman doing it herself, that is promoted. But if it's a woman that does a drawing, like if she draws an anime character from My Hero Academia or some shit like that, that is disgusting and vile. But if she takes her shirt off and does OnlyFans, that is empowering. Look, if you're on the outside and you're looking at American culture right now, you cannot help but be absolutely bewildered. There is no moral compass to be had. Like, there is no, like, okay, well, we believe in this, right? Like, we believe that sexuality is wrong, and then they would ban it across the board. Or we believe that sexuality isn't wrong, or like, this is the level of sexuality we're comfortable with, right? Like, as long as there's a bathing suit and it still covers the buttocks and it covers the nipples, like, we're fine. But anything less than that is problematic. Like, they do not have a standard, right? Like, it really depends. And there's like this bizarre alliance between people with pronouns in the bio and then people that are on the right. It's just, again, like predominantly American culture. Now, Snowbreak told them to fuck off, and they're basically saying, no, like, we're going to do sexy waifus in our game, cry about it. So what's happening is that they're registering a high number of sales. And the interesting thing is that this wouldn't have sold as much 10 years ago. Because 10 years ago, like, this was normal. Every single video game had this. Mass Effect, for instance, had a lot of fan service. And they had to remove that when they remade the game for the modern audience. So, like, back in the day, you got Neverwinter Nights, you got, like, all these other games, like World of Warcraft, that had, like, night elves with big titties and stuff. So, like, fan service was the norm. Like it was not even a question if you were trying to sell something to young men, right? So, like, if you were selling something to young adults, like the shonen genre, it was required that you had some sexuality there, because that's what teenagers like. They like sex and violence, right? So, I mean, look at the most popular TV shows that are with teens. Like, these are the themes that are predominant. And people knew, like, okay, well, we're selling to this market. This is what the market wants, and we're going to give it to them. Now they genuinely believe that they're hurting society, right? And the question is like, society better now than it used to be 10 years ago? Like, I don't know. I don't have the stats, but I don't think, like, putting a lady with cleavage in your video game is making society worse, while promoting OnlyFans and Twitch and all the other nonsense is actually healthy. But yeah, like there is a huge hole in the market. Like, people are ashamed to admit, but the sales speak for themselves. Like, they can say, oh wow, this is horrible, this is grotesque, oh how dare they? But then you look at the sales, and it's very difficult to deny the fact that, yeah, like, this is what people want to buy. It's what people want to buy, and I guess like the AAA industry can focus more on making masculine faces for women. In fact, remove the word woman altogether and use body type B. Have some people farm clicks on outrage on social media whenever someone promotes something like this, but it's not working. It's not effective because you look at the sales and the sales are just there. They're topping the charts. And the voice actors, again, like, they can cry about it. I mean, sure, I wouldn't want to work with them either. Like, they are absolutely cancerous. And by the way, like, with my video game, I also looked into the voice acting industry. And most of the voice actors on the West, even the independent ones, have a huge overlap with the V-tweeters. Now, if you know anything about the V-tweeters, you kind of know the type of people those are. It's just, no, not workable. You only get drama. You only get like all this nonsense. Oh my god, you believe in this? Oh, if you believe in this, then I can't work with you. So you just hire Japanese actresses, and that's it. It's a lot better. And this is pretty much what Snowbreak did, especially when it comes to these types of games. By the way, most people, they just play with English subtitles and they listen to the Japanese voice acting. They don't even care about playing the game with English voice acting because I don't know, it just doesn't sound authentic, I guess. It's kind of like if you're playing Metro, it sounds better with the Russian voice acting. I'm not even kidding. Like, there's something authentic. There's something there when you play a game made by a certain group of people and the language is the same that the group of people have. It's like, I who grew up in Eastern Europe, you know, when you play Stalker, like, it sounds better if the voice acting is genuine. Like, it feels different. It's more immersion. And it's the same with Japanese games. I would suppose it's the same with American movies. Like, if I was to watch Battlestar Galactica in Japanese, it would probably sound off. So, like, yeah, you know, like, all these voice actors, just absolutely bizarre. Absolutely bizarre. They said they don't want it because of the fan service. Okay, I mean, other people can replace you, that's fine. Yeah. Let me know what you guys think, though, and as usual, I will see you in the comment section. Take care.